I'm going to try and keep this one brief. Tim Bradley versus Brandon Rios. Interesting fight this. Bradley's a guy I'm a long-term fan of. On his day, he's elite level. On his day, Bradley is pound for pound top 10 level. A real skilled operator. Whenever I think Tim Bradley, do you know what I remember about him most? The performance against Juan Manuel Marquez. A boxing clinic that night. A boxing clinic. And I was so impressed by what he brought to the table. If Tim Bradley went out and boxed like he did that night, I think he could be the #1 welterweight in the world. I really do. I think he's got that capability. The issue with Tim Bradley is he doesn't do that, does he? He goes out, he gets stuck into wars, and he gets himself in unnecessary situations. Tim Bradley, he's a strong guy, he's a tough guy, but he's not a big puncher. He's not a big puncher. And he's going into the trenches with guys like Ruslan Provodnikov, who are bigger punchers, and he's negating his boxing skills. He's negating his natural advantages. He really is. And it's poor from him. It really is poor. It would be like Vladimir Klitschko fighting Povetkin, and Vladimir Klitschko not using the jab. Going in and throwing hooks and scrapping with Povetkin on the inside. Elite level boxers don't give up their advantages the way that Tim Bradley does. He's recently changed trainers. He's gone to Teddy Atlas. On the face of it, looks like a positive news. But I saw an interesting piece by Dwyer a few days ago where he was saying, don't necessarily perceive that to be a positive. It takes fighters a long time to adjust to a new trainer. And perhaps he's got a point there. Is Teddy Atlas really going to know enough about Tim Bradley to implement changes in his game that are effective this quickly? We'll wait and see. Brandon Rios, he's a guy I've always viewed as limited. Funnily enough, he's the kind of guy I think Tim Bradley should be absolutely taken apart. Rios, again, a very likeable fighter. Come forward aggressive, gets involved in wars. Tough guy, one of the best chins in the business. But he can clearly be outboxed. Someone who uses boxing movement and fundamentals from range is going to beat this guy. Really is. He's coming off a good win against Alvarado where he looked devastating. He fought on the inside that night, as always, and absolutely took the guy apart. Brandon Rios, if you go and scrap with Brandon Rios, it could go either way. And that's my concern with this fight. And when I look at the prices here, I know Brandon Rios in the UK market is about 3-1 underdog. I think if Tim Bradley gives up his advantages like he's prone to doing, stands in the pocket and goes to war with Brandon Rios, this is a 50-50 fight. Because Tim Bradley doesn't carry great power, and Brandon Rios is one of the best chins in the business. There is no way Tim Bradley will be getting rid of Brandon Rios. What he's got to do is get on his bike, use his jab, use his movement, use his athleticism, and school this guy. And if he does that, it could be a relatively comfortable 12-0 victory. But we've been here before, haven't we? We've been here before. And, Tim Bradley manages to make routine victories over the likes of Jesse Vargas, Ruslan Provodnikov into hard work. Based on past performance, you have to assume he's going to do the same again here. Don't get me wrong, Tim Bradley in a scrap always makes for entertaining viewing. But from a gambling perspective, I'd want to leave this fight alone. For me, if Bradley's on song, Rios, he's 3-1, he could be 33-1 and I still wouldn't want to touch him. Because for me, the gap in class here is so vast. Bradley, as I say, I view him as the potential to be the top of the division, whereas Brandon Rios I kind of view as a above average gatekeeper, slugger type who's tough and strong. But the difficulty here is if Tim Bradley does what he's prone to do and get on the inside and, give up his advantages and fight in the pocket and come for a war, that's playing exactly into Brandon Rios' game and is moving the game into an area where Brandon Rios really excels. And that's the point of intrigue on this fight. I think we'll know early here. If Tim Bradley is moving and jabbing and Teddy Atlas brings out that side of his game, it's easy work. If they start exchanging in the pocket early, toss a coin. Let me know your thoughts on this fight. I find it too hard to predict because for me it all depends what kind of Bradley turns up. The bet here isn't necessarily on who's going to win in a fight, Tim Bradley or Brandon Rios. The bet is Tim Bradley going to box or is he going to go Ruslan Provodnikov model Tim Bradley? Let me know your thoughts. Should be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know who you think is going to win, how you think it's going to happen. If you've enjoyed it, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching.